welcome back to Channel 24 News. I'm Tyler Mitchell.
I'm Garcia, and the time is currently 9:16 p.m. 8 months ago, the sudden and mysterious death of Detroit resident Anna Garcia had her community shocked, leaving them to wonder if she was murdered.
However, after many months of examination and tests, medical professionals have found out what killed Miss Garcia. Grant Han has the details. Grant?
Yes, Tyler. So 8 months ago, this is the scene at the Detroit neighborhood where neighbors found out that 38-year-old Anna Garcia had passed away. We are live with Anna's neighbor, who had lived near Anna for a couple years before, unfortunately. Let's get right into the interview.
Wait, she dead then? Oh, I didn't even know she died.
So what do you know about Anna Garcia?
Well, she kind of had many health concerns from what I remember. I was worried about Anna a lot. So I just talked to her yesterday when she walked her dog Toto around 6:30 a.m. I think she was wearing a sweater, even though it was like 200 degrees outside. I decided to call the police this morning because Toto had been barking excitedly for the last 2 hours, which is really unusual in this normally quiet suburban neighborhood. I tried to call her and I even rang her doorbell, but she didn't answer.
What time did the police arrive?
I don't know, around 10 a.m. Dave.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have Anna's father. Hello, Mr. Garcia.
Hello. As you know, this death was very shocking, but I guess it was expected because she was so unhealthy. The doctors told me she had sickle cell disease as well as type 1 diabetes.
Could you tell us about any family medical conditions?
Sickle cell runs in the family. Her brother-in-law and niece also have the disease. And myself and her diseased wife, God bless her, also has had the trait.
Thank you. We're so sorry for your loss.
Anna Garcia was found with a blood clot in her frontal lobe. The frontal lobe controls most cognitive skills as well as one's ability to communicate. Since the middle coronary artery was blocked, the cognitive skills weren't functioning correctly. Therefore, the brain couldn't function at full capacity. Her lack of being able to function properly could have led to her not being able to communicate to anyone for help. Through extensive blood tests, we found high levels of sugars as well as lipids in her bloodstream. The high-level sugars are in part of her passing out and dying. Since she was found as a diabetic, it is very possible that her body would give up and the arteries would also clog from the high amounts of lipids building up. In the autopsy report, it stated that her blood glucose level was at 450 milligrams per deciliter, which is very dangerous for any person to have. Her A1C levels were at 11%, which is way above the normal range for even a diabetic. 6.5% A1C levels and above means that a person is diabetic. Along with the plaque buildup in the lumen of her blood vessels, her genetic predisposition to clotting sickle cell red blood cells, she may have developed blockage in her middle cerebral artery. Due to this, the normal blood flow is prohibited from the heart to the brain.
Anna Garcia was found to have sickle cell disease as hydroxyurea is found at the crime scene, as well as in her blood, a drug used to treat the disease. According to her medical history report, we found that she had a sickle cell crisis at the age of 6. Afterwards, she was advised to avoid strenuous activity or low oxygen environments because her sickle cells were not able to keep up with the oxygen demand. The crescent shape of red blood cells caused by sickle cell disease puts her at risk for developing clots as they take up much more space in the arteries and veins, leading to easier blockage. On her autopsy report, we can see that there's a general pallor as well as grayed fingernails, all indicative of low oxygen. If there was a blockage, this could have been contributed to her lack of oxygen. Atorvastatin was found at the scene next to Anna. Atorvastatin is used to treat high cholesterol and triglyceride levels. It can also be used to reduce the risk of angina, stroke, heart attack, and heart and blood vessel problems. High levels of fat can lead to plaque buildup, increasing the risk of arteriosclerosis, which is defined as the disease of the arteries characterized by the deposition of plaques of fatty material on the inner walls. In the autopsy report, we found that Anna's heart had many blockages. Anna's left descending coronary artery had a stent present, and her right coronary artery was 80% occluded. Anna's dissection also revealed severe plaques in the left internal carotid artery, which leads to the brain. Adding on to that, there were trace amounts of salicylic acid present. This means that she was taking blood thinners to maintain her high blood pressure.
Now that this mystery has been solved, this Detroit neighborhood can sleep a little better knowing that there is no homicide on the streets.
Signing off, I'm Tyler Mitchell.
And I'm Alex T. Good night.